Hope and Langston both fall, and we have a three-way tie for first place in the KCAC. It's crazy in the NAIA right now. Cascade Hoopstock starts right now. Hey, we're going to start here in the Mid-South. Georgetown was idle on Saturday. Freed Hardeman took on Lindsey Wilson. They beat them. It was a good game, 76-69. Peyton the Law, 14 points, 5 rebounds. Jordan Stevens off the bench, 20 points. Great game for him. He was the Freed Hardeman player of the game. The Lions go to 19-2, and they're going to be at Cumberland on Thursday. Here's the rest of the games in the Mid-South. I started that Cumberland's game. They continue to lead the conference, as you can see, by a half a game, right ahead of Georgetown and Freed Hardeman. So looking at Thursday action, Lindsey Wilson's going to be at Cumberland's. Another key game, Freed Hardeman is going to be at Cumberland. I suspect Georgetown should handle Campbellsville, but I'll probably get tripped up on that. Let's jump over to the GPAC. Northwestern got back to their winning ways. They beat Mount Marty. They go to 18-3. In this game, Jesse Van Kalsbeek, 25 points, 8 rebounds. Alex Van Kalsbeek, 16 points, 8 rebounds. They're going to host Briarcliff on Wednesday. Scrolling through the rest of the scores in the conference, I started Briarcliff. They're in the middle of the pack. They're trying to break out. Everything else was as expected. On one note, the Concordia game, that is not a league game. That is at the Concordia tournament. Also, Dakota Wesleyan won that game on Sunday. Looking at the standings, Dort continues to lead by 2 games over Northwestern and Concordia. Morningside is just one more game back. So on Wednesday, Concordia will be at Midland. And then the other big game in the conference is Dort is going to be at Morningside. In the Red River Conference, LSU Alexandria was idle. Southwest continues to win. You can see all the scores here. Louisiana Christian, they won again. They've been on a bit of a roll. They beat Shreveport. Texas College beat Our Lady of the Lake. I did not have that on my bingo card. That was a big win for them and a tough loss for Our Lady of the Lake. So LSU Alexandria has a 3-game lead, 3.5-game lead over Xavier. Our Lady of the Lake is another 1 game back. You can see it right there. It's really tight after LSU Alexandria. So on Tuesday, LSU Shreveport goes to Xavier, and Our Lady of the Lake hosts North American, and you can see the rest of the games there. Those games are on Tuesday. In the Cascade Conference, the College Idaho, one of their toughest road trips of the year, they went to Oregon Tech and then Southern Oregon on Friday. They beat Oregon Tech 82-76. Johnny Radford, 18 points, and Drew Wyman, 17 points, 4 rebounds. 2,000 fans at that game. Boy, it was packed. On Saturday, College Idaho went over to Southern Oregon. A very good game over there. They beat Southern Oregon 71-67. Johnny Radford, 17 points. He added 3 steals. And Drew Wyman, 15 points, 8 rebounds. College Idaho looked good this weekend. They continue to hit on all cylinders. They're 18-2. And they travel to Bushnell and Corbin this coming weekend. Remember, Corbin is the team that beat them in Caldwell, so we'll have to keep an eye on that. LC State, they beat Evergreen on Friday night. That's a 85-83. It's a game that turned a lot of heads in my neck of the woods. Evergreen, I think, is 1-12 in conference. Cameron Swanson's been rebuilding that program. They've been getting better every week. We're going to be up there. I hope to get a few minutes with Coach Cameron Swanson next weekend, talk about their rebuild. But however, nevertheless, LC State got the win in Lewiston. Alton Hamilton, 19 points, 9 rebounds. And John Lustig, 15 points, 5 rebounds. So the Warriors then on Saturday night took on Northwest. They beat them 81-71. Alton Hamilton in this one, another double-double, 15 points, 12 rebounds, and Makari Morris, 20 points, 2 rebounds. The Warriors, they go to 15-5, and they're going to host Warner Pack and Multnomah next weekend. Here's the rest of the games in the conference on Friday. That Corbin-Multnomah, Corbin beat Multnomah in overtime. Corbin's battling for third place. And then on Saturday, Corbin fell at Warner Pacific on Saturday. Really stirred the race up. Oregon Tech beat Eastern Oregon to hold on to second place on Saturday. So let's look at the standings real quick. So College of Idaho continues to have that game and a half lead over Oregon Tech. And LC State is back, what is that, 1.5 games as well. You can see Corbin and LC State are locked in a third place battle. So on Friday, Warner Pack is going to be at LC State, and Eastern Oregon is going to be at Corbin. On Saturday, College of Idaho goes to Corbin. Remember, Corbin beat them in Caldwell, and Eastern Oregon will be at Bushnell. You can see the rest of the games there. Let's go to the GSAC. Arizona Christian, they beat Park Gilbert on Saturday, 72-43. S.A. Onakpomo, 12 points, 8 rebounds. Eric Nicholas, 12 points, 5 rebounds. The Firestorm goes to 17-4, and they will be at Embry-Riddle on Thursday. The Masters, they also won. They played Embry-Riddle. They beat them 83-71. Caleb Lowry, 22 points, 11 rebounds for a cool double-double. And Quincy Phillips, 31 points, 10 rebounds. Big day for him. The Masters, they go to 18-3, and they're going to be at OUAZ on Thursday. Hope International was at Life Pacific, and they fell 59-57. Vince Fear, he had 17 points, 11 rebounds for Life. And Rico Hopping, 12 points, 5 rebounds for Life Pacific. So Hope goes to 18-3, and they're at Park Gilbert on Saturday. Here's the rest of the games in the Southwest Conference. And then taking a quick look at the standings, Hope and the Masters are tied at the top. Arizona Christian back one more game, and Life Pacific back one game. So on Thursday, a couple games to watch. Arizona Christian is going to be at Embry-Riddle. Hope International is at Park Gilbert. I always pick the ones where they have to go on the road. Masters is going to be at OUAZ. I think the other two games have a higher potential for moving the standings. Langston in the Sooner, they fell again. They fell to John Brown. I knew this was going to be a tough game for them at John Brown. They lost 63-56. For John Brown, Elijah Lawrence, 18 points, 6 rebounds. And Trey Edding, he had 15 points, 8 rebounds. Langston now goes to 15-5. They're on a 3-game skid right now. They're going to play. They host Oklahoma City on Thursday. So if they can get home and get a win there, maybe they can turn it around. I'll show you in the standings here. Well, let's go to the rest of the games real quick. Texas Wesleyan Oklahoma Panhandle beat Texas Wesleyan. Oklahoma Panhandle, I'm going to show you in the standings. You say, oh, they're way down in the standings, but you'll see it. They're all bunched up, and they're about ready to break out. Mid-America Christian beat Oklahoma City to put them up I think they're in the top 3 now. Wayland Baptist beat Science and Arts, and Nelson won. Those are important because with Langston falling, these two, Wayland Baptist and Nelson, now lead the conference. Mid-America Christian is in 3rd now. And I wanted to show you with Panhandle. Yeah, they're 6-11, but look at this group here. And they're really trying to break into this upper echelon up here. And they've continued to move up. Just keep an eye on them. On Thursday, Oklahoma Panhandle is going to be at Nelson. And Wayland Baptist will be at UNT Dallas. Oh, and I didn't circle this one. John Brown is at Mid-America Christian. Another big game. Wow, big games in the Sooner. In the Heart of America, Baker was idle. But here's the rest of the games. You can see them there. Graceland beat William Penn. Big win for Graceland as they battle to catch Baker. And Peru State fell to Park. That was a costly loss for Peru State. So the standings right now, Baker is in control of the Heart. But Graceland is now, what is that? 1.5 games up on Peru State after that loss. So on Wednesday, Baker is at Peru State. That could be a pretty good game. Mid-American Nazarene is starting to play much, much better, and they're going to be at Park. Going over to the Crossroads, the Bethel Pilots defeated Goshen 86-69. James Anderson, 16 points, 5 rebounds. Al Peschlis, 14 points, 4 rebounds. So the Pilots, they go to 17-3, and they're going to host Huntington on Wednesday. So far, they just take on all comers. Bethel has really been playing well. Grace, they beat Marion down in Indianapolis, 83-76. Ian Roush, 18 points, 4 rebounds. Ian Scott, 18 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists. The Lancers with the win, they go to 16-4, and they will host a much improved Indiana Wesleyan team on Wednesday. Huntington, speaking of Indiana Wesleyan, Huntington fell to Indiana Wesleyan 83-76. Griffin Cleaver, 21 points, 8 rebounds. Luke Brown, 21 points, 5 rebounds. Huntington, they go to 15-5, and they will be at Bethel on Wednesday. That trip into Mishawaka has been very tough this year. Let's look at the standings or the games this weekend. Spring Arbor wins again. They stay in the hunt, and then St. Francis continues to stay in the hunt for a conference title with a win this weekend. Looking at the standards, obviously Bethel is in the lead, but St. Francis and Spring Arbor are right there, nipping at Grace's heels, as you would say. So Wednesday, Huntington is at Bethel, big game. Marion's at Spring Arbor, and then Indiana Wesleyan at Grace. That's another big game in the conference. Frontier Conference, Montana Tech wins again. They beat Rocky Mountain. Montana Tech won this game 76-59. Hayden Deacons, 14 points, 8 rebounds, 5 assists. And Keely Bake, 19 points, 3 rebounds. And they will be at Carroll on Thursday. And they're 18-2. Rocky Mountain, as we said, they fell to Montana Tech. They go to 15-5, and they're going to be at Montana Northern on Thursday. Looking at the other games in the conference, Providence beat Carroll. What was the other big game? So looking at the standings, see Montana Tech, Providence is only 1 game back. Providence really struggled in the non-con, but they've been steadily improving. I saw that team early in the year. They've got a lot of talent. They might have something to push Montana Tech, but they're only 1 game back right now. So Montana Western's going to be at Providence on Thursday. Montana Tech at Carroll, a team that's also playing much better. Jumping down to the southern states. Let's see, we got Dalton State beat Blue Mountain Christian 88-72. Amarian Smith, 12 points, 17 rebounds. And then Quaylen Pettis, 11 points, 10 rebounds. So Dalton State, they go to 17-2, and they're going to host Voorhees on Tuesday. And then speaking of Dalton State, make sure you join us on Tuesday, tomorrow, because we'll have Alex Ireland. He's the head men's basketball coach at Dalton State. Okay, let's look at the rest of the games. No surprises there. I don't have any of them starred, but I want you to see the rest of the games in the southern states. Dalton State has a 2-game lead on Life, 3-game lead on Mobile. Big games tonight. William Carey is at Middle Georgia. That's it for tonight. Jumping down to the Sun Conference, Kaiser beat St. Thomas 70-61. Chris Roth, 17 points, and Calvin Sermons, 12 points, 2 rebounds. So Kaiser's 15-4, and they host Florida College. That's a non-conference game, by the way. They host Florida College on Tuesday. Florida Memorial wins again, 82-71. Latavius Mitchell, 20 points, 15 rebounds. Dude is big. He's just doing that every night now. Felix Uidali, 14 points, 6 rebounds. They go to 15-4, and they'll host Fort Lauderdale in a non-con on Monday tonight. And Ave Maria also wins, so all three top teams in the Sun won this weekend. Miles Monsecourt, 15 points, 6 rebounds, and Jack Poirier, 19 points, 3 rebounds. They go to 16-5, and they're going to be at New College of Florida on Wednesday. The rest of the games in the Sun over the weekend, I want you to see them. Here's the standings. Florida Memorial and Ave Maria are tied. Kaiser's a half game back. Look at New College's 4th place. Man, they've had a great first year in the NAIA. So on Wednesday, Ave Maria is going to be at New College. As we said, Florida Memorial will be at Warner. In the American Midwest Conference, Central Baptist beat UHSP 106-68. Jonas Carlisle, 13 points, 8 rebounds, and Gabe Johnson, 13 points, 4 rebounds. So Central Baptist, they go to 16-4. They're at Philander Smith on Tuesday. William Woods, they also were victorious over the weekend. They beat Williams Baptist 96-55. Henry Shannon, the third, 15 points. Tyshawn Pennell, 18 points, 2 assists. So William Woods, they are 17-2, and they host UHSP on Thursday. The rest of the games in the AMC, you can see them here. Crowley's Ridge was victorious. Also Columbia, looking at the standings. Central Baptist still a half game up on William Woods, and Columbia is 1 game back from Central Baptist, and Crowley's Ridge is right behind them. So as I said, UHSP will be at Williams Woods. Columbia will be at Williams Baptist. And these are on Thursday. Let's just keep rolling. The Appalachian Conference, Pikeville was idle this weekend. Here's the scores. All no surprises in the Appalachian Conference. Bryan continues to lead Pikeville by a game. CIU is one more half game back, and then Johnson another half game back. So tight race. Monday tonight, Pikeville will be taking on Truett McConnell. In the River States, University of Rio Grande, they defeated Indiana University Columbus 99-62. Jalen Fox, 23 points, 10 rebounds. And Eric Butler, another double-double. 2 double-doubles in this game. 16 points, 12 rebounds. And they go to 15-5. And they're at IU Kokomo on Thursday. So in the River States, St. Mary of the Woods won. West Virginia Tech beat Kokomo. That was a good win for West Virginia Tech. Here's the standings. St. Mary of the Woods is 1 game up. Rio Grande and IU East are right behind them. So Rio Grande is going to be at Kokomo on Thursday. IU East is going to be at Indiana Southeast. Shawnee State at St. Mary of the Woods. Those are probably the biggest games in the conference. The KCAC, I kind of teased this at the start of the show. In the KCAC this weekend, everybody you expect to win won, except for St. Mary got beat by Bethany. That was a big surprise, 80-79. That was a really costly loss for St. Mary. You'll see that in a moment. And Friends won. So here's the standings. Friends, Oklahoma Wesleyan, and St. Mary. Friends, Oklahoma Wesleyan, and St. Mary are all 11-3. And Ottawa's one game back at 10-4. So St. Mary could have avoided that 1-point loss. They'd be leading the KCAC right now. So what's going on Wednesday? Oklahoma Wesleyan is going to be at Avila. Evangel is going to be at Ottawa. And then St. Mary is going to be at Friends. Big game, this one. Big game, this one right here. In the HBCU, here's the scores from Saturday. All what you would expect. Dillard and Stillman won. So Tougaloo continues to lead the conference along with Stillman at 10-2. Dillard is a half game back at 9-2. So Tuesday, Stillman is at Talladega, and then on Thursday, Tougaloo is at Dillard. Those are the games that can really move those conference standings. In the WAC, there's all the games. I mean, no surprises. Everything was as expected. It's getting tight at the top, though. Indiana Tech has that 2-game lead, but Cornerstone, Lourdes, and Lawrence Tech, and Madonna. Remember how many people wrote off Madonna? They're right now in 5th place, and they're one game out of fourth, right? Game and a half out of third. So tonight, Lourdes is at Clary. Lourdes has to win that game. On Wednesday, Cornerstone is at Rochester Christian. And then Lourdes is at Madonna. I just showed you on the standings how important that game is. And then Indiana Tech has to go to Lawrence Tech. It's a road game, and Lawrence Tech is really good. So if anybody's going to make up time on Indiana Tech, they need them to get a loss there. I'm not rooting for that. I'm just saying that's what the whole conference is rooting for. Sorry, Ted Albert. If you look at the Chicagoland, Governor State beat St. Xavier. Wow, that was a surprise. That's a tough loss for St. Xavier. And St. Francis beat Indiana Northwest. That was a big win for St. Francis. So St. Francis now takes the lead in the conference by a couple games. You can see that was a huge loss for St. Xavier. You can see those standings for yourself. I'm not going to read them to you. So on Wednesday, Holy Cross is going to be at Indiana Northwest. Keep an eye on that. This is a big game here, but this is a game St. Xavier should handle. And then Indiana South Bend is at St. Francis also. So this race in the Chicagoland is getting tight as well. I'm going to show you the CalPAC real quick. They've only played a handful of games. There's the games from Saturday. Here is the standings. UC Merced and Westcliff are tied at 3-3, and they both play on Thursday. So we're going to have to keep an eye on that game. And the North Star. So it kind of a goofy thing happened in the North Star on Friday. The two conference leaders, Jamestown and Dickinson State, both got beat by Bellevue and Dakota State. On Saturday, they switched opponents and they both won. So it was a 1-game lead for Dickinson State going into the weekend, and after all those 4 games, they still got the 1-game lead. So we'll have to see what's going to happen in this conference. Oh, and look at that. On Friday, Dickinson State has to go to the Newman and play Jamestown in Jamestown. That'd be a good game. Here's the rest of the schedule in the North Star. And then the Continental Conference, when they do their conference tournament, can anybody tell me, do they just go by the games they play against each other? Because these are their conference standings when they seed for that tournament, or is it all of their games? Here's their record right now in the Continental Conference. Boy, say that 3 times. So right now, really, Washington Adventist, Florida College, and Spartanburg Methodist seem to be the teams to beat in this. But I need to understand better how that playoff system works. If anybody knows, you let me know. Otherwise, I'll have to look it up, Okay, boy, I tried to get through that. I hope I didn't go too fast, but there was a lot of games, a lot of information there. I really appreciate everybody's time and listening. And don't forget to get out to your local NAIA game, and why it's the best entertainment value in America. It just is. Anyway, that's all I got. Thank you very much for supporting our podcast. Please like and subscribe. Get out to your local NAIA school, because NAIA basketball is the best entertainment value in America.